Finnish President is concerned that Putin will fight until the bitter end, with no chance of victory.
Here's a summary of the article.
Finland's President Sauli Niinistö believes the best scenario for the end of this war is the one that is fair to Ukrainians and does not provoke Russia's desire for revenge. We have a full-scale war now, and possibly the worst thing is that we cannot see the end of it. More details. Niinistö has said that a sham referendum that Russia orchestrated in September 2022 is disturbing. The Russian president stated that occupied territories are in Russia forever. The Finnish president has added that he is still worried that Putin will go to the bitter end with no chance of victory. In the interview, Niinistö highly evaluated the determination of Ukrainians and compared Putin's actions in Ukraine with the start of Stalin's Winter War in Finland. Niinistö has concluded that the best possible end to the war is one that seems fair to Ukrainians but does not leave a desire for revenge in Russia.
This post received a score of 8,700, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
And he will drag his country into the grave with him.
Well, he openly admitted recently that he is ready and willing to sacrifice 99% of Russia's population. Of course he is. Russia has a long and colorful history of winning wars not through amazing military genius but through counting on two things: 1. The Russia winter, and 2. Having more bodies to use as cannon fodder than anyone else, except China. In the case of Ukraine, the Russian winter seems to be hurting Russia more than Ukraine this time around. But they still have the advantage of warm bodies for cannon fodder.
However, that was a pre-industrial Russia where 80% of the population was agrarian. They had way more young people than elderly. Russia of today is far more concentrated in the far west of the country and less agrarian. They literally cannot afford to do war the way it was done in the past.
The problem is that Putin does not think in modern military. He literally is sending soldiers in 2022-2023 just as in WW2. Barely or no weapons and equipment. He is constantly trying a lame and pathetic version of a blitzkrieg which even if done right, it wouldn't work in modern days. He just doesn't understand. He is literally crazy with power, another Mao pretty much.
Greater than he literally is sending soldiers in 2022-2023 just as in WW2. Barely or no weapons and equipment. Yup. Russia is using 1945 tactics in 2022-23. The country with more tanks overwhelming the enemy worked in 1945, but not 2022.
He will. Someone else in power may not. Make it so.
Agreed. He gotta go. Yesterday, China starting to turn its back on Russia. Putin is on borrowed time. Despite the narrative, China and Russia are closer than ever. Russia is now China's largest supplier of oil and coal, for example. I'm not sure that we can realistically say that Putin is on borrowed time. He's still got a stranglehold on Russia and state media, and I'm not seeing any groundswell that would suggest any sort of coup. He's unfortunately well positioned to keep sending Russians to their death and use them to slowly cull the Ukrainian forces. It's awful.
I'd be surprised if it was different. China would be stupid to say no to Russian resources at discount prices.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect China to not take advantage. It's sort of their thing. I'm hoping that an influx of Western tanks can push back Russia and make Putin reconsider his ambitions, but who knows? I'd also love for him to accidentally fall out of a third-floor window.
I agree with you, but even if Putin is gone, what is the chance at this point that Russia would get a sane leader? It feels that Russia is just so indoctrinated with powerful, appearing leadership that I really wonder who would be his follow-up and if they would be any better at this point.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.